All right, moving right along. I've gone ahead and deleted all the content here so we have a fresh blank new index.html web page. So go ahead and delete the content within the body. I also changed the title here, and we're going to keep this as Learning CSS as we continue to learn about cascading style sheets. So first step is to figure out where do we put our CSS. Now we know that CSS is going to provide the style for the actual bones of our website. So we're going to take the actual structure and the content, which is our HTML, and we're going to make it look good. We're going to make it presentable. Well, where do we put this? And the answer is, well, we have three different options. And those options are we can use an external style sheet, and that's what we're going to use at the very end. That's going to be our most advanced stage, and that's what we're going to do good practice later on. But we also have the option for an internal style sheet and then what we call inline style. So let's start with something we've seen thus far, our internal style sheet. Now we can put this inside the head. So I'm going to go below the course title here, and I'm going to insert a style tag. Now inside this style tag, we can then add CSS to apply to different aspects of our page. Now this isn't going to apply to other pages in our website. This will only apply to this page. So we could go ahead and add whatever we want here. I'm just going to do a quick, maybe I'll do paragraph style. I'm going to use brackets here, close that, and then we'll do color. One of the simplest ones, and we'll do, how about Alice Blue? Now essentially what this is doing is this is going to take any paragraph, so anytime we specify a paragraph with our p tag, it's going to take the text color, so color means text color, and it's going to make it Alice Blue. So what we can do is let's go into our body here and let's create a p tag so we can then see if this worked. And I'm going to do p, and let's just write this will be Alice Blue, whatever that means. I'm not quite sure what Alice Blue is, but I'm going to go ahead and save that, and I'm going to live preview this. Alright, so you probably can't even see this text. It's right here. Well, that's because this blue is incredibly light, but yes, it did work. So we were able to change the paragraph text here to Alice Blue. So that's how we may implement some CSS. Now don't worry about the syntax yet. I'm going to go over that in the next lecture. I just want to show you where we can put our actual styles. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to delete this entire style section up here and move on to the next option, which is actually our inline option. Now as opposed to putting this inside the head, what we can do is we can use inline styling. So I'm going to write p space style, and I'm going to now put my HTML statement, my CSS statement inside these quotations. So what we'll do is we'll do style equals color, colon, Alice Blue, semicolon, that'll end that. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this. Let's preview it once again, and we'll notice that this is still the same color. So it's clearly working the exact same way. Now there are going to be some differences, and I'm going to go ahead and explain when we should use one or the other. And a majority of the time it's going to be best practice not to use inline style, and we're going to be using an external style sheet. So what do I mean by external style sheet? Well, we don't necessarily need to keep this in the document itself. Let's go ahead and get rid of this style. Now let's move back up into the head section again where we put our internal style sheet. And this time we're going to add a bit of a different statement here. So let's do link rel. And then inside this, we're going to put style sheet. And we're going to hit space here, and we're going to do type. And we'll do text.css. And then lastly, we're going to do href, because we're going to provide a link to a separate style sheet here. And inside here, we haven't actually created this yet, but I'm going to call this style.css. Now, all our external style sheets are going to have the extension .css. Now, of course, this doesn't exist yet, but we're going to create it right now. So let's go ahead and hit Control or Command Save and take a look at this. All right, so our Alice Blue text is no longer Alice Blue. Well, we don't have any styles specifying what color it's supposed to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to select File. Oops, and I'm in Safari. I'm going to select File, New. And I'm going to go ahead and do my P text here. So what I'll do is P, and then I'm going to do my brackets here. Color, Alice Blue, and close that off with a semicolon. So I've just written that same exact style in an external folder. Now obviously it's not picking this up, so I'm going to save this as, and we'll save this as style.css. Let's save that. Okay, so we'll see the colors update a little bit. It's now recognizing this as a CSS. And I'm going to, one more time, open this up. All right, and there we go. Now we can't really see it again because it is that Alice Blue color, which is almost white. But we're now using a style sheet that's not even included in our index.html. So what's the benefit and why do we use external style sheets? Well, it's beneficial because we're not going to just have one page in a website, right? We're going to have multiple pages. We're going to have a home page, we're going to have an about page, a contact page, whatever the page is, and we're going to have specific styles that are going to be on every single page. The menu's not going to change. Now we may have a different active link that's clicked on our menu, but we're going to have the same styles on every page. We don't want a website to look entirely different. So it would be counterproductive to write or paste in CSS at the top of every single page when all we have to do is write our link up here at the top and make sure we're referencing style.css. So what we can do is put all our styles in one main style and then have them applied to all the different pages that we need.